Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Rainbow Open here. This is going to be our first match in the Abyss tier for the Rainbow Open tournament here in Marmoris Esports. I'm excited to get here. This is my first cast here for Marmoris, and I'm, happy to be here. Really excited. How you feeling right now, huh?
I'm doing good. We had a great match last night with, Argonauts pulling out ahead of SNB Esports, but new day, new division. We've got our top division, GM/open ranks. Concordia Wildwinds up against Corvus. You know what?
Wildwind, and then their opponents on the other side are going to be Corvus.
Yeah, and as we flip over to Corvus here, you see Wiz and Noxguy on the DPS, Deputy Baz on that tank, and Capital and Palette on the support roles. And Corvus, this is a really, really interesting team comp. I don't know if they'll run exactly this because I don't feel like the Pharah fits with this super well, but you definitely can. With a good Pharah, can absolutely work with just the Harmony Orb. The thing with Corvus's comp is this is all in damage. You got the Genji, you got the Pharah, two very high burst characters. You got that Discord Orb, Zen, Alari, also high damage from that support role, and Sigma, a lot of self-sustain and also just a big damage threat in his own right.
Yeah, and I don't recognize a lot of these players, but Capital, if I'm not mistaken, if this is the same Capital that I'm thinking of, from Bad Patch Amari League, I believe, a very very good flex support, like one of the
Yeah.
best in BPL. So as far as the players on these teams, if Capital's on this team for Corvus, it should be an interesting match moving in here. We do know our first map. It's going to be Lijiang Tower, and from here on out, it's going to be a loser's pick.
Yep, Lijiang Tower starting on the tower itself on Gardens, and uh, very interesting comps from these teams, both with the Ram at Lucio and the Bat, very classic rush comps. But the interesting thing here is Wildwind is going to take that SimTP out. Corvus electing not to SimTP out means they're going to be a little bit later to point, and we'll see if Vin can capitalize on this. Actually, Corvus looks like they just want to go straight to White Room. Not usually how you see the opening rotation go.
Yeah, not gonna give the Lucio anything for free. It will be Wildwind here on the point first, but it's not unlocked yet. It's a pretty good wall there from Move,
Yeah.
but no follow-up there. They're not able to jump on the people that were cut off, and Deputy is taking so much damage. Move putting down some really good walls right now, but right now it just feels like Concordia can't follow up on it. Wiz takes a shot there, and it will be Deputy that pummels down Mugo's Quack first. Palette does fall, but, right now for Corvus, they brought that out strong. Great One gets one on the way out, but it will be Corvus taking this first flip.
And I mean, just compare Deputy's alt charge to his opposite number. He's nearly double the alt charge of Noob. Already has that Ramatra alt, that annihilation, and there's not gonna be a beat to answer it. That's a good wall though.
Here we go. Deputy wanting to get aggro, but a wall and a great one once again from Move, but the annihilation comes out, and it does just that. Rip and tear through Concordia Wildwind.
Yeah, and I mean that's the power of such an early annihilation. And Vin does not have that beat yet. It would have been very hard for them to have that beat, but deputies did so much damage in that first fight, earned the annihilation, and now they're pushing in Capital with the early window, and I'm not sure what happened to Noob there.
Here is, yeah, that is unfortunate for Concordia. They're just gonna have to back up. I guess the one good thing that you can take out of that is that Capital did use the Amp Matrix. But with the death of Great One there, it's going to be rough for Wildwind.
Yeah, very, very rough one. Like you said, could be last fight territory, depending how this fight goes. Corvus 3 ultimates. There is all of them for Concordia Wildwinds, though. They need to get a good value out of their ultimates, win this fight, but also not set themselves up to lose the next one. And that's two good Blizzards.
Here is the Blizzard, one from both sides. Jacket frozen up as well as the Noob. Sound barrier comes from Palette, already gone though. That sound barrier came out and left just as fast. I mean, great job, great response from Concordia, great Blizzard from Moo, but they used all 5 ultimates.
Every single one. Yeah, and I mean, they maybe could have held the window or something. They maybe could have held one ult, but that was so well played from Corvus. They refused to lose to one ultimate, and now they have an overclock and very close to a window with no answer. This, if executed correctly, could just end the round.
Here we go, 98% for Corvus, and they have the ultimate advantage. Capital 85% to the Amp Matrix, Deputy 77%, and we're going to see the first one come out, and Wiz just barely, that's Vin, sorry, just able to get around the corner away from Wiz, but killing Palette is a great way to start this fight out for Concordia. Capital goes down, and the annihilation comes out from Deputy, and I mean, those hands can only protect you for so long, especially with the Blizzard getting dropped on Noob's head. That will more than likely do it here on Lijiang Tower Garden. There's going to be a touch here from Mugo's Quack, but I mean, with the headshot from Nox, I mean, a two-piece for Nox on the way out, Corvus is able to lock up Garden.
Yeah, very well played there by Corvus, and it's kind of a similar story to what we saw from Marmora's Argonauts last night on this exact same map, where, on this exact same point even, where they managed to get the retake, but they spent too many ults doing it, and they couldn't get the value of their ults they needed to, and then they didn't have them for the next fight. The other team had ults, and they lost the fight. We'll see if the pattern continues, because if the pattern continues, we're about to see Concordia Wildwinds tighten up and get well ahead in terms of their execution with these ultimates. But that was a great first round from Corvus. Not much else to say.
Yeah, they played that nearly perfectly. I mean, they absolutely ran circles around Concordia, especially in the ultimate economy department, right? I mean, we'll see how Concordia responds here as we get into map number 2 here on Lijiang Tower. The walls come through from both sides, but once again, neither able to follow up on that wall quite well enough, as Deputy is getting aggro here, walled off again, but Wiz is able to rip Jacket apart there. And I mean, everybody's just falling over for Concordia here early, as Deputy tumbles down too.
Yeah, and I mean, it's kind of the bright side. Let me say this. The bright side for Concordia is they lost that one a lot less decisively than they did on the first time. If you look at the ult charge, last time Deputy would have his Annihilation at the exact same charge Noob is at. They're basically even. The advantage is between Jacket and Capital. Oh, what a shot.
Gracious. Just free shooting into Concordia Wildwind right now is Wiz. I mean, that was just,
the wall.
That was free. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. I mean, you don't see a lot of teams take the rotation, and I believe Wiz just explained to us why. They get distracted looking to main with Deputy and Nock taking up a lot of their attention, just because Wiz a free angle, hits a big shot, and gets a kill. And now, Ultimate's online for Corvus. Close for Concordia, but they're not there yet.
Corvus has not needed an ultimate to get this far. And another great wall, and Noob just barely gets the immortality field. As the Annihilation, though, ready to go as Capital puts up the Amp Matrix. It fades away here, so nothing going to come through. Some great kiting there from Concordia Wildwind. AFK Noob gonna walk in and, I mean, eviscerated, just barely able to get the Nemesis form up and going to pop the Annihilation, but I mean, the response from Concordia is perfection. Blizzard out from Mugo's Quack, right? They're just not stopping. I mean, Deputy was able to get the kill in there with the Annihilation, but I mean, a great wall, and it looks like Corvus is going to get away with it. We're going to see the overclock
Wiz.
from Wiz here. What's happening? I'm not even sure that either of these teams really know what's happening.
There's a
And
Lucio
eventually,
two-piece.
Concordia Wildwind is going to get this flip. I mean, a two-piece from Vin to put it away here. Nox is just getting this into overtime, and finally Concordia in like one of the most expensive fights I've ever seen. They get the flip.
Yeah. The nice thing for Concordia is, unlike last time this happened, they're the team this time that used four ults. Now it's Corvus that had no ultimates to retake. Admittedly, the amplification matrix isn't the biggest ultimate in the game. It's not, it's not a graviton surge, but you'll take it over nothing, and that's what Corvus has.
Here we go. Amp Matrix out from Jacket early. Once again, these teams smart enough to get out of its path. Gonna hit this rotation through the server room is Wiz right now, trying to find something on this off angle. But it will be the rest of the team walking it down main here. Deputy doing so much damage with those fists, but not quite able to find anything there. Sound barrier out from Vin, but it's too little too late for Moo. The Mei is dead. So, I mean, without their Mei, they just don't have the control. They don't have the extra damage. Blizzard comes out, sends Vin flying through the air, and at 99%, I mean, I just struggle to see how Concordia gets another touch here. It looks like they won't, and I will be Corvus taking map number 1 very, very convincingly.
Yeah, it feels like in the neutral, these two teams are very even. Admittedly, we have seen Concordia Wildwinds lose both neutral fights, but they were both very close, very contested. What feels like the difference, what's separating these two teams right now, is how they're getting value out of the ultimates. It feels like Corvus is getting maximum value out of every ultimate, whereas Concordia, some of their ultimates just aren't hitting the mark, and we'll need to see Corvus tighten that up. Now, or we'll need to see Concordia tighten that up. My bad. It is loser's pick, so we will see Concordia go to a different, go to their map pick, and maybe it's just the rush. Maybe they felt pressured to play the rush because of the way Lijiang works. It is a map where you'll have a lot of difficulties playing anything other than the rush. Maybe we see them go to a poke comp or a dive comp. Maybe they look better, but something's gotta tighten up there on the side of Concordia Wildwind.
Yeah, they were just really free-handed using their ultimates, and they got no
Yeah.
value. Like, I mean, Corvus, like you said, did kind of run them in the neutral, but I mean, if you're just throwing ultimates at a wall to see what sticks, you're never gonna win. You
No,
have to
no,
be more
especially not at
disciplined.
this rank.
Yeah, I mean, and we saw every single time an Am Matrix came out, both teams just said, "Hey, we're fine. I don't want to deal with that. I'm gonna get out of here."
Yeah.
And that's the right play, especially when you don't have one of your own. And just Corvus played around those ultimates significantly better.
Yeah, we are going to Nimbani. Nimbani, a very interesting map. A place you can definitely play Rush on the second 2 points. If you try to play Rush on the first point, it's very doable, but you're gonna have to make some long and hard rotations. Honestly, it feels like we're gonna want to see. It feels like Concordia Wildwinds are going to be looking to probably play a different comp, maybe play that poke comp, maybe even a dive. I mean, we will have to see once we get in, but dive on Nimbani first point on both attack and defense is a very, very strong situation.
Yeah, I mean, I imagine that's what we're gonna see. Concordia, they realized, we probably can't keep up with Corvus right now in that brawl mirror, brush, brawl, whatever. I mean, that's another thing that Corvus did very, very well. They set the pace of the match, right? So,
Yeah,
I mean, their speed and decisiveness led to them dominating on Lijiang Tower. Now here on Numbani, you know, it's not as that comp isn't as strong, especially early on. So I
yeah.
imagine that is what Concordia is leaning towards. They want to go a dive, a Winston, a Doomfist, a Diva, something to change how this game is being played.
Yeah. I mean, do we see the mythical hamster? It could happen.
No, no, no shot,
No?
no shot.
Well, now I'm sad. Either way, we are going to be taking you into Numbani right about now. Corvus has elected to defend first. As winners, they get that choice. Concordia picked the map because they lost, but defending first, it's very interesting defending versus attacking first. There's arguments both ways. Myself, I'm a proponent of attacking first. I want to set that tempo. I want to say, this is where we got to put our foot down. On the flip side, the argument for defending first is if you defend first, you know exactly what you need to do on the attack. And that's also quite a powerful thing. And like we predicted, we are going to see the dive come out from here. Palette is just memeing, unsurprisingly. It would Brig Ana is so strong in the dive backline. As much as I'm sure we all want to see the Life Weaver, it was never going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, Concordia doing something very, very traditional here on point A defense. I can't imagine that Corvus is going to change much, with the exception of maybe Jacket going over to the Brig. But I could see the
I mean,
Kiriko working here, I guess. If that's
Kiriko Ana has a lot of sustainability in the backline. It is very similar to the Brig Ana. The core difference being that you pose a lot less threat to those flankers, but it does have a lot more sustainability. For an attacking team, I think that's a trade-off you're willing to make. Another thing worth noting is this is just a much more aggressive dive coming from Concordia. Sorry, good lord, I can't get these teams right in my head. They have that Sombra and the Tracer.
Right now.
Yeah, they did change sides, but
No,
whoops.
that's bad.
Yeah, Concordia, much more all-out dive than we're seeing from Corvus, with that Sombra Tracer instead of the Echo Ash. But that Tracer Sombra, they do have to get set up, and accessing this high ground, especially for the Tracer, is not the easiest job. It is why you see Echo a lot on Numbani.
Yeah, these teams are reversed right now. Whatever.
No, the names are correct.
Yeah, the names are correct. The teams are.
Oh, okay. Oh,
Yeah.
our banner hasn't been swapped. I see what you're saying.
So the Great One gets a nice hack onto Nox there. And we're going to see the Nano Boost on to Noob here. The dive comes through, and I mean, it's perfectly done here for Concordia. And they're going to just eviscerate Corvus's backline. The Nano was well-timed. Great hacks from Great One. And, Moo was there too. Clean it up.
I mean, that's just how you play dive. I mean, admittedly, they probably would have preferred to not lose the Sombra and the Tracer in the first fight, but this is just how you play it. You build up Nano, you win the fight off Nano. That Nano builds you Primal, you win the fight off Primal. That's how the rotation is. Oh, they're really going for these daggers. I think the Pulse Bomb hit the wall, or maybe Deputy's bubble, because it didn't get any damage on him. They are going to pop that Primal.
Primal Rage comes out. Moo on the mini down there, going to win the Tracer duel, and I mean, this has just become survive, right? I mean,
this is the ending of
game
Reach
right now.
here. Yeah. I think this is exactly what we wanted to see out of Concordia Wildwind, and exactly what we were expecting to see, which is I don't think dive was where they wanted to play. I think the DPS and Noob are all looking a lot more confident in this dive mirror compared to how they were in the rush mirror. Good cleanse there.
Yeah, there's a big anti there as the Nano Boost comes out. Wiz is able to pop Mugo's Quack in the mouth, but the Nano Boost in the backline, along with this Primal Rage, and Deputy is going to be able to get so much work done back here. And I mean, there's just not much that Corvus can do right now. If they can kill Deputy, they cannot get that done, unfortunately. 75 HP and a dream there for the Winston.
Yeah, I mean, that's just Deputy knowing his limits. That's just a mark of a good player, and, respect to him. The downside of that for Corvus, though, is they just blew their two big flight win conditions here, and Deputy is taking a lot of damage.
Yeah, Deputy gone, Mugo's Quack able to get that elimination on the Winston. It will be a trade of Winstons, however, as Capital from the high ground, can do some damage in their own right. And once, that was almost really, really sticky there for Nox. From the statue, not a very commonly used high ground there here on Numbani streets, but taking some pot shots, but Concordia, they've got 5 ultimates here. Pulse Bomb comes out from Moo. Not going to find a target, but they will find Moo as Moo eats a whip shot. That's not good.
Big
as
EMP, though.
Nox and Palette are going to work back here. Primal Rage, Nano Boost from Vin onto AFK Noob goes away, and the Primal Rage going to work here as well. I mean, these fights are barely fights anymore. Like, I'm not really sure what's happening.
Does anyone know when Deputy went to Diva, or did he just suddenly stop to Diva in the middle of the map? That's how this feels right now. Deputy's been despawning back so many times. Everyone's been spawning back so many times. I just missed that Deputy's now on Diva. It's an interesting swap. Diva exerts a lot of threat onto that Winston. Those micro missiles, if the Winston drops on top of you, will just turn him into vapor. It will not be a fun time for the Winston. On the flip side, as Diva, you're a little bit more vulnerable yourself. You've only got that DM with its limited... Oh, good lord. Bye, Jacket. See you around.
Wiz is going to come out with this overclock and find 2 here as Deputy jumps on top of Vin. That will be Corvus coming back, you know, retaking here as, yeah, Great One just not going to try and get out there, you know.
Yeah.
It's better to die.
Absolutely. And the bright side, again, for Concordia is the ult situation's basically even. With the comp that Concordia are running, as long as Vin is smart with their positioning, no one should die to the self-destruct. And, you know, you never know. Maybe Mugos Quack can find something with his pulse bombs. They're on the flank. Swish.
You know, usually I can see the vision, right, with a pulse bomb. I'm blind right now.
I wonder if they thought Capital...
where that was going.
I wonder if they thought Capital was there, if there was a little bit of miscommunication, but it just ends up in Deputy's defense.
It fell right into the mouth of Deputy. Pulse bomb out from Nox in response. Vin under a lot of pressure from Nox goes down.
He gets the nano off.
In the backline, though. AFK Noob does have the chance and tanks the
remake got hacked. No, wait, that was Tracer.
That was Nox. But as Deputy is in mech here, AFK Noob does have this Primal Rage here.
Without his Ana, though, he's gonna have... Without his Ana, he's gonna have trouble exerting space, and you see that. He has to back up, wait for Vin. There's a Primal Rage and EMP, which they're going with early.
I mean, a colossal EMP hits 3 people for Great One, and you know, with 7 seconds on the clock, Noob in the back line gonna be able to put down 3 alone and make that 4 for Noob, who I think probably overcommitted there, but they get the job done.
Yeah, I don't know if they needed the Primal there. I was looking at other people's health bars. Maybe they were low. Even if they were low, I feel like they were better off dying. The Junker Queen swap for a 3rd. Okay, this is interesting. 3rd is definitely the point you care about dive the least. There's one high ground. You can see it at about the bottom left of your screen right now. It's where Wiz is. It's not really that important. You can exert pressure on it pretty easily. So just the speed and the aggression of the Junker Queen. We'll see what they get out of that. They don't have a lot of time, so gotta get something done quick.
Corvus has the advantage in the ult departments, and it'll be a trade capital for Great One. You'll
That's a trade
take
up.
that trade right now, though, if you are Corvus, because capital just comes back so much quicker. And now stuck is the Junker Queen. Doesn't go down to the pulse bomb, but I mean, it's just an overwhelming amount of damage in it to Noob's Junker Queen there. So I mean, Concordia, they have to just get away with their lives for now. They've only got one more shot.
Yeah, I actually do like this switch from Noob. I think this is what they should have gone originally, and I think that's what they're thinking right now. Is the Zarya is a huge threat to the Diva, can cleanse herself, is not reliant on the Kiriko, but there's a nano overclock on the field, and that's a lot of damage.
Here we go, one more fight to decide it, and Wiz puts 3 away. Make that 4 for Wiz. Go hold on point C. My God, Wiz, cooking up something.
Definitely, but bright side for Concordia, that's a winnable push. That's very winnable. They got it around that first corner on 3rd point to give themselves that ability to win the fight, to hold the good corner, to hold the good positioning. And obviously, there's always the chance of a full hold. Numbani is one of the maps you see full holds the most often. This point, the way it's shaped, is so hard to break, but you know, Concordia, they've put themselves in a good position. Now they need to capitalize on it.
Whoa, excuse me. Yeah, that's very, very
Late nights.
winnable here for Concordia. 50 meters, you would have liked to see it get a little further, at least on point C, but yeah, it's a very, very winnable
Stay sharp.
position here for
It's harder
Concordia
to keep you
Wildwind.
alive when you're distracted.
Corvus gonna come out on something, about the same
Yeah.
as we saw on their defense, especially near the end. Concordia, maybe
Yeah,
Noob is coming out on this diva. I'm interested to see how well this is gonna work for Concordia.
I mean, the diva in this comp, I think you're looking to be less aggressive with your own dive as the tank. You're looking to kind of play part of that brig roll with the Kiriko and threaten the Winston, not let the Winston just go in for free. And then you've still got the ability to use those boosters to go in when Great One gets a hack, when they find a target. And yeah, Paulette also over to the Kiriko. And I think we see Kiriko, we're going to see Kiriko a lot more in the attack. It's interesting they still are keeping the Kiriko on defense for Concordia, though. Jacket feeling very confident in it, evidently.
A little there to Noob, the diva going to get up. Like nothing happened, basically. Those
Yep.
tanks a little bit more resilient to the sleeps. And oh my
Whoa.
god, Nox!
Oh,
It will be a trade though, as Nox realizes that the mini is hacked. Once again, a trade.
Yeah.
But, I mean, right now, this is still in favor of Corvus, in my opinion. If they can find another pick
Yeah.
for Concordia, that would be good as the dive comes through, but the counter dive is just as strong, and it's going to be another trade here, it looks like. It
Whoa.
won't be a trade. No, Great One's going to be able to finish off Deputy. AFK Noob goes down here, but for now, Corvus, they need to back up. They have some time.
Worth keeping
won't
in
back
mind. They refuse to back up, but worth keeping in mind, the respawn times for attacker defender on first point and Bonnie are basically even. Neither side is going to have a respawn time advantage, so any picks that come through are equal. Like if you trade tracers, that's an equal trade. So it's about finding the better target, and AFK Noob has just found Paulette.
Yeah, Paulette going down is going to spell doom for this fight for Corvus here, and especially with Deputy going down. They're finally gonna say, hey, we're gonna press our S buttons and walk away.
Yeah, they have built a lot of ult charge though. Capital nearly has that nano boost. Deputy has the primal. Nox with the pulse bomb. Wiz very close to that overclock. But on the other side, it's not as rich. But they've got the high ground for free. They've got the defender's advantage. It's on Corvus to make something happen here. Concordia doesn't need to do anything if they don't want to.
I mean, we saw what Wiz and Capital can do when they combo their ultimates there at the end of the round. Pulse bomb is out, and what a sleep from Vin, followed up on by Mugo's Quack, and Wiz is able to take it down AFK Noob, and here's the nano block, and they're just gonna run away from the side of
just run for the hills.
Concordia, and I mean Vin has nowhere to go, and
Yeah.
I mean, just like that, it looks like Corvus is going to put point A away. At least they should be able to. As AFK Noob jumps
there's
back
an
in,
EMP
EMP
out,
comes
too.
out, it hits 5, but Great One is already dead.
One.
I mean, it was a good EMP in theory, but there's just no follow-up, especially or even with Deputy in there. I mean, there's just nothing that they can do.
Yeah, I see what they wanted to go for, and they did get everyone with the EMP, but Capital and the Ana providing all the healing Paulette could ever need. Paulette lives, and if they didn't invest those two ults, if they just took a defensive position and just waited for the point to be done, they've got a great advantage. They're up 4 ults to 2, but they invest those, and now things are a little dangerous. They do have Vin's Nano. That's probably the biggest ultimate we see on the field.
I mean, Jacket is just able to get out of there with their life, and will not be able to do so forever, as Wiz is going to find that railgun right into Jacket's chest. They are diligently spy checking for Great One right now.
Yeah, but they haven't found them. Partially because they're in a very defensive position, but Great One doing well to stick with the tank, not worry about the spy checking. And this is part of New Sombra, is you can't just be on your own adventure so much. And the Kitsune is going to start this fight.
It's going to be responded to by the rally from Paulette. They're going to be able to ward off Noob for the time being, as the whip shot just a split second too early, but the anti comes through. They have to use the cleanse there to get that anti off, and Capital going to respond with the nano boost on to Baz, and they are way in there right now as the supports, you know, they're supporting each other right now. 50 HP for Baz, not going to be able to get out alive, as right now Concordia, they are bringing this out.
Yeah, and I mean that is exactly what I was talking about. That is the power of that Kiriko Ana backline as opposed to the Brig Ana. Is the Brig Ana doesn't have the tools to live through a Nano Winston, or doesn't have as good tool, doesn't have as effective tools. The Brig or the Kiriko and the Ana are so very effective at living through that Nano dive. Now they might not be able to defend themselves from the Tracer as well, but if you're not feeling concerned about the Tracer, because you know Mugo's Quack's been able to keep Nox in check very well, then the Kiriko feeling like the better pick right now.
Here we go, dive out from a noob. EMP going to hit 3 somehow.
Sick.
And Mugo's Quack going to find the pulse bomb onto Capital. Great one with a sliver of HP. Not able to do it. The EMP and the pulse bomb came out, but Palette and Nox answer in kind, and Wiz, you know, it was a great job trying to defend the back line from Wiz, but Wiz just goes right through the bubble and rips Capital's head, or rips Vin's head off, sorry.
I'm not convinced they need that that overclock. There were only 2 alive when they popped it, and that would have been a great tool to continue the snowball, because, you know, like we've seen, the Kiriko and the Ana can live through a primal pretty well. I feel like Baz is going to have trouble finding value out of this, and Palette's ult is pretty much purely defensive, so they're kind of relying on Nox finding a big pulse when Vin has that nano boost.
Wiz, you know, we're going to back up here as AFK Noob receives the nano boost once again, and, you know, especially to a Tracer. Oh my god!
Those headshots.
I mean, I was gonna say that, you know, those headshots from the Kiriko are super impactful, especially to a Tracer. But Wiz kind of stole the show in that fight. The anti comes out, and AFK Noob is able to take down Palette here with the Primal Rage. So that Kitsune Rush didn't really help that much, honestly. I feel like maybe a little bit of an early use
I woke up the Nano Winston
there, and the Nano Winston gets Pulse Bomb, gets this is not looking good right now, but Wiz is dead. So I mean, right now as it stands, this is still very much in Concordia's court, as it was a trade, but with Jacket going down, I mean, this is a point in the map where, you know, you can't be losing these people. Like, there's only 3 meters left, 45 meters and counting, and Nox puts it away. Map number 2 goes to Corvus.
Yeah. I mean, great effort on the defense from Concordia, but again, it just feels like just a couple little mistakes, a couple ults that didn't get the value they wanted, and, you know, waking up the Nano Winston, and I feel like when they woke up the Nano Winston, that just was a mistracking of ultimates. I think they didn't think he had the primal yet, but he sure did, and he made him pay for it. That was a collat, by the way. That was a great one in Vin.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it sucks for Concordia, because that was a really good defense, right? The unfortunate thing is that they didn't get very far on point C. They didn't give themselves much space to work on point C. And once again, Corvus was just able to out-ult, out-rotate, out-dive. I mean, and with Wiz clicking heads like they are, I mean, that's a terrifying prospect for a team who doesn't have a lot of room to give. I mean, especially when you can play that far back.
Yeah, and I mean, backs are up against the wall now for the side of Concordia. They have no more space to give. That they're on match point. If Corvus wins another map, then it's all over here. But, you know, we've seen it. We've seen they have the ability to take it to Corvus. Every single one of these Concordia players has shown they have that prowess. They just need to put it together. They need to stop these hero plays from Wiz, especially Wiz. Probably turned around 2, 3, 4 fights on that Nimbani map that Corvus had no business winning, and I, they need to find a way to stop that, because that's the difference right now. Is Wiz is creating these hero plays and making something out of nothing too consistently.
Yeah, and along with Wiz, who is a mechanical freak at the moment. I mean, the dives with the Winston Tracer are near perfect for Corvus too. As we have map number 3 selected, we're going to New Junk City, which we're going back to a more brawl rush oriented style map here in map number 3. But whether it's dive or whether it was the Ramatra rush on map 1, it just felt like Corvus was more in tune with them with each other than Concordia, right? Like Concordia has very strong individual players, but Corvus also has those strong individual players that are coming together and making something more than the sum of their parts.
Yeah, just to update people, we are having a little bit of a pause here before going into New Junk City. Seems like there might have been a little bit of a miscommunication or maybe some tech issues for the side of Concordia, but I've seen it happen a lot of times here, which is that the team that finds themselves on the ropes can often just get that extra burst of strength that they need to turn it around, to get that reverse sweep and to prove it. And I have a little half eye on Twitch chat right now, and I see a lot of Concordia fans in chat. I see a lot of people rooting for Concordia to make the comeback, and I think they have the ability to.
Yeah, I mean, they have the talent, right? They have made plays, but it's
The
something
talent
I've said,
is there.
It's something I've said for a long time, since I've started casting. Really, is that you can't win championships based off of moments. You have to put the moments together. And right now, Corvus is just the team that is putting those moments together. And Concordia has had moments, but if you can't do that, you won't win.
Yeah, and I mean that's the big thing that I think we've been getting at throughout since Nimbani ended is, we have seen moments from Concordia. We've seen huge clutch fights from everyone on that entire roster. We've seen big moments, big plays, but they're not able to string them together. They'll make a big play and then they'll go in 2 versus 5 and spend 2 ults to get nothing, and they need to find their place. They need to figure out where's our situation? Where do we want to be with all of this? But New Junk City, new map, new comps, and WD Baz is rocking that Mauga. I don't know if this is bait. It feels like it's bait, but maybe it's not.
I'm holding my breath right now. I don't know.
It's not bait. They're gonna run the Mauga.
No, okay, it's gonna be.
Oh no, it is bait. Well, no.
Okay,
Screw me.
so Deputy Bass coming back out on the Ramatra that they look so strong on Lijiang Tower. AFK Noob not doing the same as they did on Lijiang Tower. It's gonna be the Junker Queen here. So, a little bit of Jotes action here for Concordia Wildwind, and it'll be Wiz because, of course, it's Wiz, because who else would it be but Wiz, who finds one posthumously there onto Vin with the Ravenous Vortex, or not the, that is Ramatra's shot. That is Ramatra's thing, the Disruptor shot.
And, I mean, they used Wiz's bait, and Wiz still got 2 kills, and, like, that's such a confidence play to say, okay, we're going to put Wiz over here. Okay, Nox, that's not okay. You can't just do that to poor Jacket.
Yeah, well, they're going to, because, I mean, they want to put, like, they want to let us know that, hey, we're better than this team, right? So, I mean, they are confident right now, and, it's not unfounded confidence, right? As we see Noob getting ready to go back in here to point A. I mean, there hasn't been much of a chance here, and it's a great wall. Noob has to use the shout earliest. It'll be the great one this time. Wiz, of course, responds with 2 in kind. I mean, this Wiz is just on one right now. Make that 3 for Wiz. I mean, what a play by Wiz.
Is it 4?
Here.
Is it 4?
Noob going to get it done. Make that 4 for Wiz.
Wiz with like 3 HP wins out against the Junker Queen. And AFK Noob in the chat can't believe what Wiz is doing. And, you know, it is so early to call this, but I'm going to say it. Keep your eyes on Wiz throughout this tournament because you may be looking at your Abyss Division MVP right now.
Yeah, I mean, there's some ults coming in here. Neither team used an ult on point A as we get into the ducts here. Overclock and Amp Matrix out. Or no, that's Rampage and Amp Matrix. But it will be once again. It's just trades galore right now. As it stands, Concordia has the advantage. Ramatra and May here on the point, but I mean, Deputy Baz has the annihilation here, and two characters that can just get out of it. And oh my god, I mean, Mugo's Quack peeks around the corner and gets their head ripped off.
For Concordia in that fight, Agony was indeed grape flavored. They were so close to clutching it out. They had Vin and they had Mugo's Quack there against a very low HP Nox and Deputy, but the annihilation and the block are just too much for them to chew through. And early beat engage here from Concordia.
Sound barrier from Vin. Pulse Bomb going to find only an Immortality Field. Wiz's Overclock not going to find much of anything, but cleans it up there at the end because, I mean, Wiz is...
Wiz.
I mean, it's just Wiz. That's it. That's the sentence, period.
That's the tweet, just Wiz. I don't know what else to say. What else can we say about how well Wiz is playing right now? And Concordia should get another touch. They have a Kitsune and an Overclock, but there is that beat for Palette and the Blizzard for Noxai, which they want. You can see Noxai on the left side of your screen. There's the Blizzard.
That is horrifying. I mean, the Blizzard is out, freezes up too, and just like that, I mean, the Ducks is over. It's 2-0 for Corvus.
And now Concordia need to not only reverse sweep the series, but also reverse sweep the map. We do see AFK Noob go over to that Ramatra. I think that's probably the right choice. The Junker Queen finding herself just a little too punished here by the May of Noxsky. But they've got a big hill to climb here as we move into our third point on New Junk City. Here
we go to decide the series potentially. Great One opens it up with the Overclock here. Yeah, I mean, right now, I mean, all of these ultimates coming out right now. Kitsune Rush out from Jacket, and AFK Noob is able to pummel down and knock Sky. Deputy Bast falls a second, and Concordia, you know, they lost the early flip here on Refinery, but as it stands, they're going to finally find their footing here on New Junk City.
Wiz is still alive. I'm not saying a thing until Wiz is dead or has left the point. Okay, there they go. You never know what Wiz could pull out, but we do see Mugo's Quack going back over to this May that they got some really good walls way back on Lijiang Tower if you cast your minds back, and another good wall opens up Refinery, and now they've got an ultimate fight to get through, but Vin will have that beat. There is a potential here for Concordia to really establish themselves on this point.
Here we go. Corvus are the ones with the ultimate advantage at the moment as we see Sidon using the Amp Matrix here early. They know where Concordia is hiding, and Wiz, of course, is going to be the one that opens up the fight. Wiz with a second. Any more? Potentially.
Any more Wiz?
No, not right now. But, you know, the fact that we're asking for more from Wiz right now.
I mean, the fact that we know Wiz has the potential to give more is crazy. I mean, this player is just running the lobby right now. And, I mean, Concordia is doing their best, you know. Great One's trying to pressure Wiz. You see Vin try to pressure Wiz a few times. AFK Noob even putting some shots in their direction. But it feels like there's nothing in this world that can stop Wiz right now. They need to find it, though. Last fight, potentially.
Listen out from Nox, and it freezes 5!
And absolutely everyone.
Nox, and I think that puts the map away. And if that doesn't, this Overclock from Wiz almost certainly will, but they can't touch the point. And Corvus, they make a statement here in their first series.
A very, very big boop there from Paulette. Keeps AFK Noob, who had that annihilation up, from getting to the point. And who else was going to get play of the game, Fletch? Really, answer me. Who else? Oh no, AFK Noob, I'm so sorry. You might want to look away if you're AFK Noob right now. No, it's not going to go that far.
Yeah, this is just, I
Oh,
mean, wow, what a series from Corvus. They made a statement here in their first series of the Rainbow Open here. Man, I mean, from start to finish, it
what else
felt
can you
like they
say?
had their foot on the gas pedal.
Yeah. I mean, right from that first fight, think all the way back to the first fight where Deputy just ends up doubling AFK Noob's ult charge, and they just snowball the rest of Lijiang Gardens off of that. And then all the way through to the end where we see a huge five-man blizzard land from Noxai. And it's just such a clean, clinical series here from Corvus, looking like a big, big threat going forward in our Abyss division. And, I said it before, I'll say it again. Keep your eyes on Wiz. We might be watching a future Abyss division MVP. But going over to the side of Concordia, there were bright spots, Fletch. We've talked about it. And there's a lot for their coach Natelli to go over. And I don't think we should count Concordia out just yet.
No, they looked fine, right? The problem is that you can't just look fine. Like you can't
Yeah.
just be good, right? Because if you're good, you'll beat some teams, you'll win some games, but you won't beat the great teams.
Won't be
And
Corvus.
this is still really early in this tournament, right? So
Yeah.
I think there is still time for Concordia to take what they've learned here today and, move forward. Can't look back. You're 0 and
Yeah.
0, 0 and 0 in your next match, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
You just have to learn, and it's still early, and they have the pieces to put together right now. So I'm not gonna count them out just yet. As for Corvus, right? Like it's still early for Corvus, right? But I
A
mean,
lot
the
of work to
statement
be
that they
done.
just made says, "Hey, step to us if you think you can." And
Except to
I
Wiz if
mean,
you think you can.
yeah, this is a scary team, I think. So I mean, unfortunately, we don't have an interview with anybody from Corvus, so this will
Yeah.
do it for us tonight.
Actually,
Maybe
yeah.
we're
It
gonna
sounds
try
like
and
we
get one.
might get someone. We're gonna go to a quick break. When we be back, we'll either have an interview for you or we'll have more information about the Rainbow Open if we don't have an interview. So either way, stay tuned. There's gonna be something useful coming up.
saying Paulette all series, but that will be fixed moving forward. I can promise you that. But Palette, how you feeling? Y'all
Feeling
made a
good.
statement here in match number one.
Yeah, I gotta play Lucio, so it's always a good day. You know how I feel?
Oh, yeah. Fellow frog connoisseur, I see.
Yes, yes. So I'm feeling good. It was
Alright.
good. We weren't
Alright,
too we
yeah.
weren't too anything, we weren't freaked out or anything. We were pretty calm going into it.
That's always good to hear, gotta have a good mental. The question I think everyone wants an answer to, Wiz had an absolutely insane game.
Yeah,
Anything you wanna
yeah.
say about Wiz and their performance?
Wiz is kinda goated, and we just kinda play to enable them. And so I just as long as I'm babysitting Wiz, things are gonna go well. You know what I mean? That's kind of our whole game plan.
Alright.
Yeah, I mean, I want to know what like it felt like y'all were way way more organized. What kind of preparation did y'all have going into this
Uh,
tournament?
we just scrim and VOD a lot. Everyone does one-on-one VODs, everyone does team VODs. We just, I don't know, we just grind.
On that Overwatch grind, on that frog grind.
Exactly.
Well, I mean, unfortunately, we're stuck on break for one map, but, you
Yeah, it
know
happens. That's the toll you have to pay.
Yeah. Either way, you guys gotta have a lot of confidence going into your week 2 matchup, right?
Yeah, for sure, for sure. We're looking forward to it.
Excellent.
Yeah, I mean, what a series. I mean, what's the plan moving forward for you and Corvus?
Keep winning.
Yeah, I
Keep
Keep
like that.
winning.
That's
keep playing
that's a
Soj
good
because that
plan.
character's a little broken. Um,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah, and just
Yeah.
keep playing ROM,
yeah.
keep playing Rush. Our Rush is definitely our best comp. So we're looking forward to it.
You know what?
Are
Too good
are
of
You
enough for us
say
you
for
that.
sure.
You say that. The dive looked pretty good.
Yeah,
Dive did look kinda
it
nasty.
was my Curie did not look good, I'll tell you that. My Curie, I had to get off that very quickly. I was getting no value. I don't know if you saw me try and TP out and then I couldn't TP and then I couldn't wall climb and I fell off the map. But other than that,
Uh,
our dive felt good.
I don't think we caught that, luckily for
Yeah,
you. Um, are you guys gonna I assume you guys are gonna spend some time with coaches grinding that dive, right? Like, you
for
that's
sure,
definitely,
for
like
sure.
yeah.
'Cause you never know what the
And
meta can
so
change.
yeah, and obviously, you
Speaking
don't
of
want
which,
teams catching you slacking on that dive after
Exactly,
hearing this today.
exactly.
yeah, I mean, if what we're hearing about it is true, then some change is on the horizon for sure. Uh,
Yeah.
so I mean, once again, congratulations to you and Corvus, and I look forward to seeing
Thank you.
how well y'all play throughout the rest of this tournament.
Thank you. We're looking forward to playing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So one last thing I just want to pick your mind on. We bandied it about, it is very early to bandy it about, but there have been talks of Wiz for Abyss Division MVP. What are your thoughts on that?
I think that's merited for sure. I think they're the GOAT. We just like I said, we just play to enable them and play to make sure they pop off.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Palette, for stopping by and
Thank
speaking
you for
with
having
us.
me.
Yeah, this is unfortunately the end of our broadcast for tonight, but next week, Rainbow Open matches start with Sunlight Division on Thursday, so you don't have that long to wait, not that long of a break from Rainbow Open Overwatch, but that is it for us here for this week. I'm Zooey. You can find me on Twitter at CastZooey, or you can message me on the Marmor's Discord. In the booth with me is, of course, the one, the only Fletch. Anything you want to shout out, Fletch?
Not, I like Overwatch. I like watching Overwatch.
So real.
I like watching Overwatch. I don't care for playing it much these days. uh, yeah, I mean, I'm excited to be here, and I look forward to being around. It wasn't. I don't think I'll be going anywhere.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, good to have you on board. One final, of course, critically important thing before we head out here. Palette, any last things you want to shout out? Friends, family, parents, Wiz.
Yo, shout out Wiz for real. Shout out Depp. Depp heavy slept on for sure. Yeah, shout out everybody.
All
We all did
right.
great today. I hope we continue this going forward.
All right. Absolutely. You guys look great. Anyway, thank you so much. And I think that's it from us here today. And we will see you all on Thursday.
All right, thank you for having me.
Yeah.